Thank you for joining me on another episode on Sunnylanka. I'm your host Priya, and today we're going to be making a rice dish, and it is a rice medley. So let's go through the ingredients. So to start off with, here I have one large onion that has been sliced lengthwise, 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste, and we get this here in the stores. But if not, you can always take an equal portion of ginger and garlic and make a paste out of it in the grinder. And you would need 1 teaspoon of that. Pepper, I'm using the pepper mill, but ground pepper, salt to taste, and optional sauces are fine chili sauce and ketchup. So this would be in quantities really up to your taste, and you can adjust it as you need. Now the vegetables that we're using for the medley today are cabbage, and I have a double portion of the cabbage compared to everything else because the cabbage does wilt down quite easily. 1 bell pepper, a red bell pepper, just for the brightness and the color, and it's been cut lengthwise. And the broccoli that has been broken down into small florets, and it adds a nice color. The green color is a nice contrast, and of course carrot. It's also slit lengthwise, and all of these, the 3 of these are in fairly around the same quantity. I have a little more of the carrot just because I want to use up a whole carrot, but it's really up to you. But whatever you have, if you were to double the cabbage, that would work because the cabbage does wilt down. And of course you need some oil for frying and some chicken. Now the chicken, we have to prepare it. So let's go and see how to prepare the chicken. Okay, so to the chicken, what I've done, and of course here I have more than I need, but this is what you would do with your chicken, maybe 1 thigh or maybe two of the chicken thighs, and I'm just boiling it here with a little bit of water, and to the water I've added a little bit of turmeric powder, pepper, and salt, and that's just to season the chicken slightly and just to boil it. There are no measurements to this. It's really just to taste, and all I want is that the chicken is boiled. So this will take a few minutes before we go on with the rest. And then of course you can't have rice medley without rice. So here I have rice that I've just cooked in the rice cooker. But what would work even better is if you had a day-old rice, so that it would be slightly drier than the rice that's just cooked. But this is what we're going to be using for today. So let's get on with the recipe. Okay, so once the chicken has boiled, after a few minutes, you can just take out the chicken thighs and strip out all of the chicken from the bone, and I have here shredded chicken. So this would be the equal quantity of your vegetables, and so let's get started. Today I'm using about 2 cups of rice, and that should make serving for 4 people. Thank you. Okay, so today we're using a heavy bottom pan, sort of like a wok style. It'll just help with mixing everything in and make sure it's big and wide enough to fit all of your ingredients in. And to that, we've just added in about 3 tablespoons of oil. You have to be a little generous with the oil because there's a lot of different things going in there and you don't want it to dry out. So about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil is good. And once the oil is heated up, you can add in your onions. Okay, so once the onions are translucent and softened, you can add in your ginger garlic paste and then give that a good mix. Okay, so once the onions and the garlic have fried out a little bit, now is when you will add in your chili paste, and this is really up to taste. So I have the kids eating today too, So we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of the chili paste, and then equal it out with a little bit of the ketchup, just so that we'll have a little bit more color but not so much of the heat. So a little bit of the ketchup, and this is really up to your taste. You can adjust it. If it's all for adults, then you can have more of the chili paste, and then add in your cabbage. Now, even with the chili sauces, there are so many varieties in Sri Lanka. You get the sweet chili sauce, you get there's something called a Chinese chili sauce or green chili sauce. You can experiment with the different sauces, and it's a very easy dish to make, and you know, it just makes for a nice appetite. Fried rice, it's substitute, I think. Okay, so now the carrots are in. You want to put in all your hard vegetables, so carrots and cabbage, and sort of cook that first before you add the rest of the vegetables. And at this point, I'm going to add in the chicken. Just to dry it out a little bit, because my chicken was a little moist. But if yours is dried and you shred your chicken, then you can add it in later. So we still haven't added in any of the salt, but there is some from the chicken and there's some from the chili sauce as well. So we're going to adjust the salt right at the end. Okay, to this you can add in your peppers and the broccoli. So after you put in your peppers, just give it a stir. And already it's looking very colorful. This would be when you test for your salt, and you can adjust and put in a little bit of the salt. And make sure to mix everything thoroughly. And you do want your vegetables to soften slightly, because you're going to be adding in your rice. Okay, now you can add in your broccoli. And the broccoli can be eaten raw. Okay, so you really want to maintain that crunch. You don't want it to get too softened, because then it doesn't taste as good, I guess. So when it heats through, it'll get into a bright green color like you can see right now. And that just makes it a very colorful dish. This is so easy. If you don't like chopping the vegetables, because I think that would be a little time consuming, and that's the only part of this that would be a little time consuming, then get your husband to come and help you in the kitchen, or get your wife to come and help you in the kitchen. And if not, get your teenage kids involved, you know, get them to come and just chop up your vegetables for you, and then it's just a matter of just throwing everything into the pan and getting it ready. Okay, so now the vegetables have softened up just slightly, and that's all you want, and you can add in your rice. So I know I said 2 cups, but I actually have 3 cups of rice there, because everything, you know, just builds up in quantity, so I have a little more rice. So 3 cups of rice, and this will be more than enough for us. And then once you put in the rice, turn the stove off, and you want to mix in the rice, and you want to make sure it doesn't go mushy. Okay, you don't want to get the rice all soggy. So just turn off the heat, and then just toss in the vegetables very gently, and make sure that it's mixed in. And you can one last time test for salt. And if you want, we like the cracked pepper, so I'm going to crack in some pepper. And that would be it. So let it just sit and kind of get together and get to know each other, all the vegetables, the chicken, the rice, and all of that. And when your guests come, it's ready to serve. So let's dish it out. Okay, so there you have it, folks. Today's recipe, very simple and easy to do. and it is a great alternative, like I said, to fried rice on your table on this festive season. So do try it and let me know how it turns out for you. It's rice medley, my style. This opportunity to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and all the blessings for the coming New Year. So all the best, and until next time, Ayubowan.